Okay, folks, this is Chapter 7, Oral History. What better way to learn history than to listen to a person who has witnessed an event or has been part of it? All of us who's grown up, and we all have an art culture, have become part of history. And some of that history we care not to think about. But the fact remains is we have experienced a lot in this country in the past 50 years, and that's what oral history is all about. If we're going to use oral history properly, and if you invite a speaker to your class, your students have to be prepared for that speaker. And so what I'm going to do now as an activity for you is I grew up during the Cold War, and a lot happened during that time. And as a middle school student, I'm going to tell you some of the things that I witnessed as a 6th, 7th, and 8th grader at the school where I taught local history when I was an adult, but it was the same school that I graduated from in 1958. So if I were to invite a class to listen and to have questions for me, I would expect that in the history, they would have had the opportunity to learn about the Cold War, communism, McCarthyism, treaties, what was SALT all about, Sputnik, what were the things that happened that made our country anxious and created some of the issues that came out of the Cold War. And so, as a student, I want to just share with you many of the things that happened to me as I was a student. One of the things that struck us as rather odd as 6th graders is we had bomb drills. I teach in Texas now, and we have tornado drills here. When I was in school during the Cold War, we had bomb drills. And we had to go under our desks. Now, these desks were wooden, and we looked at each other and said, how is this desk going to protect us from an atomic bomb? Because we had heard about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and we knew about the nuclear threat. But students had bomb drills that they were required to take during the Cold War. I remember riding back to school one day. In fact, a bunch of us went together, and we got to school, and there were blue lights. There was an ambulance. Something had happened, and we were not sure what it was. And we were sent home, and nobody knew. The following day, we found out that one of our teachers, a math teacher who had been a World War II vet, had served in occupied Japan, went through and on every single chalkboard, there were blackboards then, wrote, "The communists are coming, the communists are coming." He obviously had a mental break and was taken away, and we never saw him again. Our town had Pease Air Force Base, a strategic air command base built on its border, a company in Newington and Portsmouth. And as students, we were able, and we were not bored, but I can assure you by this, watching B-47s, KC-97s, B-52s flying over our junior high school on a regular basis. Many times, particularly with the KC-97s, those engines were on fire. It's kind of interesting to be a 7th and 8th grade student and watching planes fly over that were in trouble. All that was a result of the anxiety and obviously the need for national security that allowed us as students to become very aware of what the Cold War was all about. And there are lots of other examples as well. You'll be able to read about them in the book if you choose to purchase it. Thank you very much.